Let's get live and let's get crazy. How's everybody doing? Everybody have a good weekend?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
We got some storms coming. I was up at 2 o'clock, so I gotta it's kind of weird. I gotta drain my pool because it overflows, so I gotta drain it. Yeah, so I got to get up and like turn on the pump and click the switch, set my alarm for 2 hours, turn it back off, check it. So I'm in the process because we got 3 hurricanes out in the Atlantic right now. So it's coming. It's not hitting us, but it's causing a ton of. I might go take a swim tonight in the ocean just to prove them wrong. That you can make it. I can make it. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Dionne, what is happening, my friend? I'm excited.
So, 2 things. Number 1, I just spilled coffee on myself, so no close-ups.
All right, no close-ups. All right. Okay, all right. We'll keep it. I don't see it. We're not seeing it, so I've done that before.
And 2, Scott is so cool. He's had me on here so many times.
I know.
That I've actually kind of like done what he had me coming on for today because we had those couple of surprise visits, Scott. So I actually created something else that's credit based, and I think that you guys will find equally cool. I challenge all of you guys to go back and look at some other ones that Scott and I did on credit, and you'll find those tips. But this is going to be equally cool. I promise you. You guys are going to love it. I'm going to try my very best not to talk a lot, and if you know me, you know that that's hard. I will try and stay at 30 minutes.
Credit report cheat sheet is our topic today, right? Credit report cheat sheet.
It's supposed to be, but we're going to call it something different.
Okay,
but it's all good. You can leave it at credit because it's still a really kind of cool cheat sheet, and I hope that it helps you guys make some additional money.
Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm game. I'm game for that. Caroline's back. Hello, Caroline. Nice to see you, my friend. All right. So, what do you have for us, Dionne?
So what I'm going to talk about today are 7. Hold on. Look, I had to rename it, Scott, so I don't even know the name.
Okay.
7 credit tips to unstop your pipeline and help you close loans faster.
7 credit tips. All right.
I know that's a whole mouthful.
Here's what I would do is I would take the 7 that you're going to cover today, and I would put them into 7 different videos, 7 different reels, 7 different, like if it was me, I would take what she's given us and like put it into now I'm the credit expert. And you know what I mean? That just brings in deals. So
that was some good advice. I need to do that. Can you send me the recording?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, show.
Am I sharing my screen, Scott?
Yeah, go ahead. That'd be awesome.
Okay, remember, no close-ups. I spill coffee.
Okay, all right. I can't do it when you're sharing your screen, so we're good.
Okay, good. All right, where are we at? Maybe I shouldn't have been the tech person.
It's all good.
Let me know when you can see my screen.
We got it. We got SICK credit.
Cool.
SICK, that's kind of a cool CIC. Let's call it SICK.
Oh, that's funny. SICK. So if you, just so that you know what this stuff is from, this is from this framework that I built called Underwriting Secrets Revealed. And what I do is I grab tips out of this framework that I built. And it's kind of like my nickname, which is D. Everybody in Chicago calls me D. I'm here in Georgia. My family's not here. My family's in Chicago. And they call me D in Chicago. Like, I forget that until they come around. And so I took my name, and that's what I do. I develop, encourage, and I equip. So I'm hoping that that's what I do for you guys today. So we are coming into refi season. I don't know if you guys realize that, but, and listen, I am not even, don't even talk to me about interest rates, because I've been in the industry long enough to where interest rates do not like even come to my mind, because I come from a time where rates were super high. And so people are refinancing now because they have to, because they need things. And also too, because you got people like Scott, Devin, Eddie, and people that are telling you guys to go out there and talk to your borrowers about refinancing, because you might find out that they actually do need to refinance. So why am I telling you guys this? Because I've run into a few situations in the past 60 days where the borrowers, who are a lot savvier than they used to be, have been trying to refinance their investments in other properties as first homes, as primary residence. And so here's a really cool part though. It is such an easy catch. And if you guys remember the last time that I spoke to you, I told you guys that this is something that your LOA, your loan partner, your uncle, your auntie, whomever you're using to help you with your files catch. When they pull that credit report, when they're looking at that credit report, immediately check and make sure that all the addresses match on the 1003 and on the credit report. I'm so big on that. Underwriters are so big on that. That is my first cheat. Please know that underwriters are going to check to make sure that the addresses match. Here's the funny part. Don't think because they got all the way down to a certain point in the loan that it can't come up later. It can. It's called QC.
Hey, D, you want to hear a funny story? This happened to me. So I was doing a refi for one of my investors. This is way back. Right address, wrong appraisal. The appraiser went in the wrong house, appraised the wrong house. Somehow it went all the way through to closing. We're sitting at closing. She's looking at it and saying, this is the wrong address. All the way through. Is that hilarious?
And the other people let the man in their house?
Yeah, it was an investment property, college rental. So they're like, whatever. You're like, yeah, come on in. So like she's looking, and thank God we had a window in the address of the appraisal, like the paperwork, it had the address of so you could see it without opening. So she's like, this isn't my address. So we literally, it didn't close that day, to say the least. Yeah.
So to Scott's point, mistakes happen. To Scott's point, some of that stuff is not caught till later. QC, post closing, all of it. If any of you guys have ever got an email from the post closing department of your favorite lender, you know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. Just because it's not caught in the beginning doesn't mean it won't be caught in the end. Here's my other favorite one: credit scores. Oh my gosh. Everybody knows about freezing their trade lines. So we have to watch out and make sure that when we pull that credit, and okay, I don't know what just happened. That when we pull that credit, and that when we review it, I'm trying to make sure there's no trigger on this one. And there is a trigger. Sorry, guys. Is that the one? Yes. So frozen credit. They're freezing their trade lines for whatever reason. It's nothing wrong with freezing your trade lines. It's nothing. It's like freezing your car. You know what I mean? So that no activity can be done on it. But the problem comes when you're so busy, or no one's looking, and you kind of get all the way to a certain point, and then now you got to go back. Remember, we talk about AI and how wonderful AI is. One of the things that AI has done is it sped things up super fast. And because it sped things up super fast, these little small mistakes will cost you days. So, you know what I mean? So now you got to go ahead, Scott.
Are you saying that if I freeze and I didn't know this, if I freeze my trade line, then it doesn't actually update, so the credit score might not be what it's supposed to be because it's frozen?
It won't even be there. It'll be a NA right there. And these loans get too far to the lender sometimes before someone's like, hey, one of the trade lines is frozen. You should have checks and balances in place. And that's one of the things I believe that's on the worksheet or the workflow that I gave you guys to have your loan partners check, is to make sure that all three scores are showing. Even though it's a small thing, remember, we're dealing with time. We're dealing with competitors that are out there saying, I get loans closed in 6 hours. I'm being sarcastic, but you know what I'm talking about. That's a really big thing. Now, this was, I kind of didn't know if I was going to go over this or not, but I thought it was like super important. And let me tell you why. I kind of feel like we leave a lot of money on the table when we deal with FHA loans. If you get a refer, or if there's like a manual downgrade, it kind of frustrates people. And so people really won't touch FHA loans, especially when they're refers or manual underwrite. So I kind of wanted to go over this with you guys. I'm going to go over it quickly. I only have 30 minutes. So the regular credit score, so whenever we're dealing with the manual underwrites, we know that credit score goes down immediately. That's why everybody panics when it goes to refer, right? We're like, oh no, now I can't get my loan done or whatever have you. But FHA does give you a way to kind of like get past that stuff. And I want to kind of go over some of that stuff because we talk about it, but we don't ever really dig into it. So compensating factor number one, and I'm all the way down here because if that score, if excuse me, if you're at 50, 580, 31, 43, remember, if you just stay in there, then you don't need any compensating factors. As long as you don't go over there, you're fine. But if you want to go higher, because you can go up to 50% with a manual underwrite. If you want to go higher, there's some things that you can do. So the first one is verifying assets and cash reserves. No one ever talks about how much you have to, how much reserves that you have to do. So it's going to be equal to 3 monthly payments. That might sound like a no-go to you, but you would really be surprised at how many people have this in their 401ks or have this kind of like in their stocks or something. So you get someone that you need to go a little bit higher than 43, and you can show that they've got 3 months reserves. That puts you in a good position to meet one of those compensating factors. Here's another compensating factor. That minimum increase in housing payment. And what is that? So that's no more than like $100 or 5% of that monthly payment, whichever is less. We used to call it payment shock. Does anybody remember the word payment shock?
100%.
I know that's a
is that what it is? 5%? 5% is
yeah,
the 5%.
You don't really see that a lot because borrowers are not trying to double their mortgage. You know what I mean? They're not trying to go from $1,000 a month in rent to $2,500 to $3,000 a month mortgage payment. But just in case there is a very small difference, keep that in mind when we're looking at compensating factors and we're trying to go a little bit higher. One thing that we don't ever talk about, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but FHA uses VA's residual income requirements, meaning how much money do they have left over? And a lot of times the borrowers do have a nice amount of money left over. So that first one to go to 47%, which is higher than that 31.43, you just need a few months reserves, minimum increase in that housing payment, and some residual income. I've seen this on plenty of loans. So I know that it's possible. Don't be afraid. Lean into that. Now, if the borrower doesn't have any discretionary credit, meaning they've got like trade lines, they have a credit history, but they have no monthly payments, they have nothing, they can go up to 40, which is, pretty good.
Yeah.
Because FHA caps you off. So the bottom number is lower, but who cares? You can go higher on that top number. Because remember, you're only supposed to go up to 31. They're letting you go all the way up to 40.
What about I know we're talking about refer, but like with these reserves, I mean, in the past I've been able to put in reserves and get an approved instead of refer.
Yes. But think about it like this, Scott. What if it's a manual downgrade?
Okay.
So you still
look
have
at this stuff. Okay.
kind of like this inside of your pocket.
Got it.
And this arrow right here is underneath residual income, but it's actually supposed to be significant additional income. My apologies. I'm going to just blame it on my age. It looked like that's where it went before. So how many times have you guys had income that FHA wouldn't let you use because it wasn't long enough, it wasn't strong enough, it wasn't whatever have you? Well, guess what? It can be used as a compensating factor if the borrower has had it for 12 months. So you don't have to use the income to qualify, but you can use it as a compensating factor. Why is that a big deal? Like now I can go up to 50% on that back end. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you've got a loan that's kind of like on the cusp or like right there on the edge, it will make a difference. So don't be afraid to lean into compensating factors with FHA. It's business that you're leaving on the table. And I want you to remember this because everybody's always like, whenever you say FHA refer a manual underwrites, you're not doing the heavy lifting. Right. The lender is. Right. And the lenders that do manual underwrites are experienced. I'm not going to name any lenders because I don't know who, Scott uses or whatever have you, so I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But these lenders know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. And you're leaving money on the table. I have to keep saying that. You're leaving money on the table.
I think Kobe had a question. Yeah, Kobe, and then Dionne, Yawanda has a question as well.
Can we go back to the table, please?
Oh, I sure can.
Okay, because I actually have somebody in this bottom bucket. Okay, so you have the 37-47 and then the 40-50 bucket, the bottom, the third and the fifth. So are both of these going to be 3 months, or is the first one 3 months and the second one 6 months?
They're both going to be 3 months. So the only time it's over 3 months, I believe, hold on one second. 6 months is if it's like a 3 to 4 unit. Are you dealing with a 3 and 4 unit property?
No, just a single family that I'm at like a 3254 that I'm trying to fix. So I'm doing a cash out to pay off debt, and I'm just trying to figure out, because they have no cash, but if I can lower what they're paying off, because I have been paying off a normal and a HELOC, and I have like 15 or 17 out there, and if I know what to hold, and then minimal increase in housing payment, if I'm refinancing both a HELOC and a primary, are both of those included, or just the primary?
Because remember, that's your housing. So a HELOC is the primary. It's their second mortgage.
Right.
It's part of their housing payment. So if you're paying that HELOC off and you're reducing that total payment, then absolutely.
Can you use cash out for reserves? The extra cash out they're getting?
So I am going to say no, and I was supposed to make sure I look this up. But remember,
that's what I would use.
Some programs would, yeah.
You said Yawanda had a question?
Yeah, Yawanda is like, I have a client with no credit score. How will that work? Can they go FHA? Can we get an AUS approval? What are your options?
Well, remember, if they have no credit score, then that's traditional credit.
Yeah. Rent, like phone bill, electric bill, cable bill, Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then because it's going to be a manual underwrite, because it's traditional credit, Yawanda, you are going to lean into the 31/43. If you got compensating factors, that's something that you and I can talk about offline, because I don't want to answer that question because I'm being recorded. This is going to be posted, and without going over the guidelines carefully, but you have all my information. You can reach out if that's something you want to discuss offline. I can't see Yawanda's face because I'm sharing my screen.
All right, cool.
She said some lenders will underwrite with only 2 scores. You need to check to make sure. So remember this, I am not saying that they only have two credit scores. I'm saying when they have 3 or they have 2, but it's frozen. So it's not going to be a situation. It's going to actually tell you that credit score is being repressed. It's going to tell you that, hey, this credit score is locked or something by the borrower.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, for people who only have 2 trade lines because they've only used TransUnion and Experian, or Equifax and TransUnion. This is when the borrower actually went to TransUnion or Experian or Equifax and said, put a freeze, put a stop on any activity on my credit. I've been compromised, or, whatever have you.
Yeah, Kobe and I,
question?
I think so.
So that's, like you said, so cash out cannot be used for reserve.
On an FHA,
I'm going to say no right now. Has anybody ever done that before? Because you think about it like this, it's supposed to be the money that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Cash out is going to be the money that you're going to get. Make sense?
Yep. I think that's more of the QC, like the other, the non-QM loans, brother.
Thank you, Dionne.
No problem. Hold on.
Checking right here in the spot, babe. Let's go.
Well, I'm checking something else for FHA.
Kobe and I got one over the weekend that was a referral of a client that's a green card out of Ireland, and they have no credit score, so we're working on that today. Which I think we do those all day. It's just non-traditional credit.
I was trying to make sure, because I know that FHA is stricter on gift funds than the other ones are, but
interesting.
Sorry, Kobe. But remember to season your funds. I know you're probably trying to close like tomorrow, right?
Well, that's like you said, like you said, I broke the news on Friday to them that I thought this wasn't going, and like I'm so wishing I had this presentation on Thursday, so I wouldn't have to just come eat those words. But I feel like I'm gonna play with the file again today, but I do think it's not. I think it would have residual income, and I think it's just the reserves would be nice to have, but I appreciate you going through that, and now I know.
Cool. See, that makes me feel good because I felt really bad that we had already covered everything that was in my last presentation, and I didn't want to bore you guys. Extenuating circumstances, and you guys know what extenuating circumstances are. Your bar says, hey, I know that bankruptcy and foreclosure are bad, but this happened to me. And then what are we able to do? We're able to cut that time, in half, whether it's for conventional or whether it's for government. Here's the really cool part about it. They used to didn't put this stuff in, and they didn't really give you direction or guidance on this. To me, Fannie's got a really great way of kind of breaking down what that documentation looks like. And if you've been in the industry long enough, you know that they used to just say it has to be an extenuating circumstance, but you just have to kind of figure out what the heck you needed to provide to document the extenuating circumstance. Now, FHA, VA, everybody else, whatever the case may be, VA, I can't even put VA in the equation, because what I love about VA is that they help their people no matter what. But your USDA, your FHA, and your conventional, you always want to document. And these are just some really great things that you can use to document those extenuating circumstances. Now, I will say this. Fannie and Freddie are allowing divorce to be used in that equation. There was a time
for compensating
when Fannie
factor,
and Freddie said divorce is not an extenuating circumstance.
Okay.
I will say that FHA has not changed their stance on that. They will tell you that divorce is not an extenuating circumstance. But the way that you document that anyways, you say, no, divorce is not a method of extenuating circumstance. It's not an extenuating circumstance, but loss of income is. This is the debts that my husband, this is the debts that we had, the income is gone. Like, you got to build the story. You have to tell the story. It's not, I got divorced. It's, I lost half my income. This is how much money I had. This is what my credit looked like. When I lost that income, this is what my credit looked like. You have to paint the story and make it make sense. Document, illustrate, all that good stuff.
That's where slowing down a little bit and actually putting a story together before you submit it makes a huge difference on the mind of the underwriter. Like, it's the difference of getting something done or not getting it done. Because now if they're looking at it with no extenuating circumstance, they're like they can't even get through thinking about, okay, no, I don't even see it now. You know what I mean? Where they see it up front, they look at the file different.
I mean, my first thought when someone sends a file and there's a bankruptcy on there and there's no supporting documentation is, did they look at the credit report?
Right.
That's what we think. Did you look at the credit report? So, coming in hot with the documentation, all that good stuff is really good.
What you talking about?
I love that, Willis. Now, I just did a webinar with CIC Credit last week, I think it was. All these webinars are starting to kind of like blend in together. But I did not realize how much credit supplements cost. I'm sure you guys know that, don't you? How much credit? I just want to apologize on behalf of all underwriters. Credit supplement just rolls off the tongue. Get a credit supplement. Get a credit. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe because a long time ago they didn't cost that much. I have no idea. But I want to talk to you guys about alternative documents up front. Because once again, I'm really seeing a lot of refinances. Start getting those mortgage statements up front. They don't have a mortgage statement, tell them to go inside their system and print out that mortgage history. Credit cards, get letters from the agency, from whoever held that card saying that it's paid off or that there's nothing. Like, it's just a really great way to get that stuff down. And if you do it now, if you do it at the very beginning, if you have your loan partners and stuff do it, then that means that later on down the line, you don't have to get that credit supplement. You don't have to worry about those costs.
Love it.
All right, number 6. I want to take a really good time.
No, you're good, man. Take your time. We can go after. I think this is important to me. I don't know about you guys, but like I think this is the difference between like putting a deal together and not putting a deal together, getting a new relationship with an agent, not getting a new relationship with an agent. So I think these are little bitty nuggets that will sway your career in a cool way.
I don't know why I'm leaning so much into FHA today, but FHA. So this is really huge because we know that you cannot have like late payments and stuff like that, but actually you can have a few and still be okay and still not manually downgrade. You know what I mean? And the only way that you'll know this so that it won't come back later and bite you in the Yahoo after it goes to underwriting is to do my favorite thing, which is search the word mortgage. Why are you searching the word mortgage? Because this particular mortgage is closed. So it's not going to be at the top of your credit report. It might be on page 16. And if you don't see page 16 or you don't see page 12 or you don't see page 10, searching the word mortgage or real estate is going to pull this up. Now you can see if that borrower had any issues in the last 12 months, in the last 24 months, because you can have up to, and I need to see my notes, hold on. You can have up to one or more late payments of 60 days or one or more 30-day late payments. You can have 3 or more late payments.
Yeah, that'll kill it. Yes. Do you
see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so if you're looking at this ahead of time, then you already know, okay, listen, I'm still going to be able to stay at approved eligible because borrower's only been late 30 days 3 times, or they've only been late 1 or more times, or, oh my gosh, the borrower has been late more than 60 days twice. This is more than likely going to be downgraded. This is more than likely, this is going to affect my loan somehow. Let me get in front of the problem now. But we don't see this because it kind of like is at the bottom word. We don't see it. Because what would make this disappear when we can't see it? Do you see the word transferred down there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
How often do loans get transferred?
Every day.
So now you're in a situation where the borrower is making the same payment. They haven't refinanced. They don't know what you're talking about. It's just that new company is up at the top. The old company is at the bottom. But in the borrower's mind, they've been making the same payment. It's been transferred, and that's no longer in your sight of vision. It's at the bottom. And that history may or may not be up there.
Can I give a little tip? So every PDF, does everybody know the Control F? Like this could help drastically. Control F so that it opens up even on a PDF. I just tried it to make sure. Like you hit Control F, Command F, PCA, and you put in mortgage. It'll go right to wherever in that PDF there's a mortgage, so you can literally save yourself a lot of hassle. I mean, yes, look at every trade line, but if you're like, man, did I miss it? Am I going too fast? Hit the Control F and put in MORT, and it'll literally highlight every mortgage in the whole credit report.
My favorite thing, I call it search and find.
Yeah.
Cash out refinances. No, so whereas the other ones you can kind of be like 30 days late, no current delinquencies with the cash out refinances. And why am I bringing this up? I am telling you guys, my ear is to the ground. Look like I'm some type of secret agent. My ear is to the ground. People are doing a lot of refinances right now. They're like all in between. You know what I mean? They're picking up, and it has nothing to do with rate and everything to do with need. Everything to do with need. Here's the last one, and I'll make it as short as possible. And I know you're like, that's a tax return, that's not a credit report. Just stick with me. So you get your borrower's income and you're like calculating the income. I teach my people when they have tax returns in the file, always come here and look. Does the borrower owe any money?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that a big deal? Because if it's not paid by the end of the year, it's considered delinquent. Just because it's not on the credit report, just because it's not a lien, does not mean it's not delinquent. So what ends up happening? If you don't have a great underwriter, they'll just say, has it been paid?
That's
and this is what
exactly
happened with someone that I was talking to.
Me too.
Has it been paid?
Yep.
And then what's the answer? No.
Payment plan. Oops.
So yeah, so like there's so much more than has it been paid.
Mm-hmm.
So your borrower gives you this documentation, and now your loan partner or whomever is reviewing your stuff for you is looking at this, and they're like, okay, hey, borrower, you owe $16,000. Are you in a payment plan? Did you already pay this off? Two things. If they haven't paid it off, then of course that has to be added to the DTI.
Mm-hmm.
You would be surprised at how many times this is not.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're dealing with a DTI problem again, credit issue.
Yeah.
Two, if it has been paid off, depending on the borrower's income, $16,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna have to source it.
Yeah.
So I know that wasn't a credit tip, but
no, it is a credit tip because the payment on that, like, it's typically not 30 years. It's 24 months or 12 months or 30. Like, I'm trying to think of the one we just had where they just found out, like the underwriter said, hey, is this paid? And it was for the final hour. It came up and they're like, nope, didn't pay it. We got a pay. We have a payment. Like we have payments on it. And here's and it was almost $400 a month. And then
this is my question for you, Scott. How long had the underwriter had the tax returns?
Too long. It wasn't my file, by the way. It was a coaching conversation that we had. But still, this should have been brought up way before, at the very beginning, on the initial underwrite. I would 100% agree with you.
I'm not even poking at the underwriter. I'm poking at the lenders and their unrealistic turn times.
Yeah.
Because they missed it.
Yep.
Somebody caught it at the end.
Yep.
It's going to get caught at some point in time. I don't like a lot of wordy slides. So if you guys will just bear with me really quick with all these words.
Can I throw one more in there that I think you should throw into this presentation is unreimbursed business expense. I had one that blew up like right in my face on a page in the tax return. I had no idea was there until now I know, but he had unreimbursed business expense of $120,000. Which literally lowered his tax liability. So he paid very little in taxes, but I had to deduct that from his income, which now killed his DTI and killed the deal.
How long ago was that?
10 years ago.
Okay, Scott, I'm going to give you a hug before I say this.
Okay.
I took that off the tax returns.
They did?
Yes.
Woohoo. Where's it go? Where's it go?
It's they took it off.
So it's just not it's not part of the income?
I'm sure that they did something else to it, but in my mind, I'm thinking, did I miss an email?
There was a page that there was a page that I never looked at, and at the time it was like, what is this?
It was Schedule A.
Was it okay, and that's not there anymore?
It's Schedule A is there, but unreimbursed expenses are not.
Okay, all right, okay, cool. So that's why it's not a topic right now.
Review address and mortgage history. So very important, guys. Keep costs down with alternative documents. Number of credit scores. So very important. Make sure the borrower is not suppressing any of their credit scores. Document those extenuating circumstances early and document those delinquent federal tax returns. So I just want to say one more thing before Scott kicks me off. One of the reasons why I gave you guys all of these tips is because most of you guys have a database. So now that you know what you know, who can you go back to and see if you can help?
Yeah.
Those are my parting words.
Love it, love it, love it. That's awesome. So yeah, we give a big shout out to Dionne Bass today. All right. All right. Very meaningful, right? So so I mean, here's the thing that I like. Once you see it, now you know. So when you're taking an application, and you get the tax return, look at what they owe or got back. Like if they owed, like, ask the question, and then you're saving yourself so much hassle and underwriting when it gets there, because you're going to get asked the question anyway, right? Mimi's like, can we please have Dionne on at least twice a week?
I don't even know if I can have
Dionne's corner. Dionne's corner. There you go. There you go. All right. So here's where I need your guys' help to get Dionne back is I'm going to create a form that has like you put in your underwriting questions. So when Dionne's, because she's here every day. So we'll just go, all right, Dionne, here's 20 questions. Let's just pick out 2 or 3. And then we'll just kind of chomp at the bit. We'll maybe 1 or 2 a show. And then as a group, we'll just learn like crazy from, or is that too much putting you on the spot?
Great idea.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
All
I
right,
mean,
cool.
it's kind of like good
scenario
press,
desk.
what they call it, good press, bad press.
Yeah.
All press is good.
I'll press. Right. And if anybody, how does somebody get a hold of you? Because I know you do coaching training and you help people, you work with people over a certain period of time to make sure they don't miss anything.
I forgot to put my QR code on there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. My website is asktheunderwriter.net.
Asktheunderwriter.net. Cool.
I'll do better with that next time. But Facebook, LinkedIn, those are my jams. I know those are, my son said those are old people social media
We're
places,
old. I'm there.
but I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. All right, guys, here's the thing. So slow down a little bit. Look at this stuff that we talk about from Dionne. Like, she's so awesome as far as like what you're looking at to save yourself such a headache. Keep a relationship, nurse a relationship, deepen a relationship. Share these things with your borrowers. Like, make sure you're checking with them and talking with them and asking enough questions. Make sure you have the documentation before you fire off that approval letter. Because if that tax return shows they owe $16,000, oops. There's the QR code. Very cool. Very cool. Yay. If you stretch that out, you can get it. So stretch out the comment box if you can't see it. So is that your QR code? Oh, is that to the website probably?
I went to her website and then did a QR code.
Okay, cool.
You, Jerry?
Excellent.
You're welcome, darling.
All right, everybody. Same time, same place tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Please do me a huge favor. Connect, engage, interact with your past database. Remind them who you are and what you do for a living so that they think of you when they're thinking about buying, selling, investing, debt consolidation, or their friends, family, coworkers are thinking about buying, selling, investing, or debt consolidation, right? If we don't remind them, if we're sitting here hoping that they call us, it's never going to work. We're going to miss more than we get. So get the opportunities. You are an interrupter. You are interrupting people when you call them, yes. But are you doing them a favor? Are you putting them in a better financial situation if you're the one doing the deal? Yes. So take action, make the calls, and I'll see you guys on the coaching call in about 45 minutes. Devin, what we going out the door with, bro? Come on, baby.
That's a good question, man. I didn't have anything planned, but I guess we could run with this.
Nothing can stop.